Yes, hello. I would like to cancel that appointment I made for my next piercing. Thanks. Hi there, my little demons and divas and demonites. I just watched Final Destination Bloodline. I had to. And I needed to get on here and talk about it. I asked you guys if you wanted me to do a review. Some of you guys said you will be into it. And so let's talk about it, right? Because I think for me, Final Destination movies, I put them probably in my top three franchise-wise horror. You guys know I love my horror movies. It's up there. I have a very soft spot for Final Destination movies, except for that fourth one, but because it's part of something I grew up with, the original one, something that made me get into horror movies. I still watch the Halloween movies, but that movie started like it was before my time, right? One of my favorite horror movie of all time is The Exorcist, but that is before my time. Friday the 13th, those movies started before my time. There's a couple of franchises that I hold near my heart because they were during my time, right? I'm talking about Scream. I'm talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I'm talking about Final Destination. Those are very, you know, and when I saw that this movie was coming out, I thought to myself, you know what? It's been long enough. I just hope that they do something different because one of my fears was, hey, the last one really wrapped it up nicely in a bow where I was like, okay, if we don't see these movies again, they have a good rewatch value. And they ended the story on a high note because that four fucking movie I gotta get over it, but I just didn't like it, and I'm gonna keep the first half of this review spoiler free. So if some of you guys haven't seen it yet, I'm gonna try to not spoil anything and be general, and I'll let you know when I go into spoiler territory because I do think this movie is worth watching in theaters. Now it's not the best one out of the franchise, in my opinion, because the ratings that it's getting, especially on Rotten Tomatoes, is crazy. I will do a ranking of the Final Destination movies. Maybe later this week. I want to really start talking about other things on the channel, so that will be fun. And horror is something I always wanted to dip my content into because it's something that I really love, probably just as much as I love my wrestling. So I do think it's worth seeing it in the movie. So if you are here and you're wondering, should I go see this movie? I would say yes. Yes, it's gonna bring some nostalgia. I don't know what age group you're in. If you're in a newer age group, given the fact that we haven't had one of these in 14 years, this might be your first experience seeing one in theaters. And yeah, I think it's worth the trip to the theater. So go see it on the theater. So yeah, so when I saw that they were coming out with another one, I was like, you know what? It's been long enough. But my fear was, how do you bring this franchise back when they wrapped it up so nicely on the last one? It, because even though it does have a good formula, Final Destination movies could really go on forever with, hey, here's a premonition, here's a group of people that were saved, and here's death coming after them. Like, it's a movie franchise that you really could have just completely killed it, or you can completely keep it going. When you take up movies like Halloween, Jason Jason Voorhees, like this like Michael Myers is like 90 now. He really can be killing people, right? Scream is another one that I love because you can put that ghost face into anybody, and they always do a decent job most of the time of linking the killers back somehow to their past stories. But you don't necessarily have to do that. Where there are certain franchises that you depend on this very specific killer, and they die after. Not the killer. They somehow keep reviving it. But the concept eventually has to die because you depend on this one person. With Final Destination, you can keep doing it, but that is the problem that a lot of the critics have on Final Destination movies, is that it's the same formula repeat. So did we have a plot twist here? Oh, we did. And at the same time, it does still feel a little bit familiar. It does still feel a little bit of the same, but with a plot twist. So I appreciated that, and it doesn't ruin what they so nicely wrapped up in a cute little bow on the last one. So I appreciated that. Okay, so as far as plot twist goes, that was probably my favorite part, because the premonition which I'll get into in 1 second. The premonition, it was a little bit different than what we're used to. The way that they presented the premonition was very different than what we're used to. And I'll give you more details on the spoiler part. But I'm trying to keep it. I don't want to spoil anything for those of you who haven't seen it yet. So yeah, the plot twist is good. It's still familiar. The premonition, it's gotta be, I don't know, because every single premonition in this series, except for the stupid race car one, has been so good, so terrifying. The freaking highway accident with the log truck, the flight, the 180 flight is, I think the original movie is always just gonna have the top spot in my heart because it was such a different concept. It was so good, and this all doesn't happen without that movie. But the flight itself, actually, the roller coaster one, maybe I should rank the premonition scenes. But this one, it's really good. It's really good. If I go based on like my fears or things that give me anxiety, I would actually probably have to put the stupid fucking bridge at number one because I love roller coasters. I'm not afraid of flying. I'm not afraid of heights. When you look at the premonition for this one, the log trucks, they still freak me out. They will forever freak me out. But I never had a fear of them until Final Destination. But every time I drive through a bridge, and this was before even the Final Destination movie, that shit freaks me out. So I personally think that for me, the bridge premonition is probably the most, I don't know, anxiety-inducing one. But this one was very good, and it was so well done, and it was just terrifying. And we'll see next time I get one of those space needles things if I think about it differently, which I'm sure they will, because a lot of Final Destination premonitions and kills have lived in my head rent-free, and I have never been able to put them away. I have never been able to go tanning without freaking out. There's so many things. This movie will fuck you up for life. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so maybe I should add Final Destination to my therapy conversation. All right, well, anyways, so yeah, the premonition is good. The plot twist is decent. The characters are good. I don't think we spend enough time to become invested in them, but the thing that switches here is that in a lot of the Final Destination movies, we are introduced to a group of strangers, and they just kind of slowly start dying. Some of them, like on the first one, they were a group of friends, or they were in the same class. They weren't necessarily friends, but they were in the same class. We're here, we're following a family. So, hello, Vin Diesel. So, it really, really just makes you become invested in them a little bit faster. So, yeah. And, of course, last on the spoiler-free section of this video is going to be the kills are just as gory as always. I still prefer... I'm more of a practical special effects girl than I am CGI, but I do think some of the things that Final Destinations do and some of the way to make these skills happen, I don't know how you do them with practical effects. I'm sure somebody can make it happen. Those creative minds are out there. But there's CGI, okay? There's a lot of CGI. But if you are a Final Destination fan, you know what you're getting into. You're still going to enjoy the kills because they are gory, they are creative, they're extremely extra, and I wouldn't have my Final Destination movie any other way. So to wrap up the spoiler-free section of the video nicely, go see it. If you're a fan of Candyman, Tony Todd, go see it. Pay some homage to the man. And yeah, I rank it like an 8 out of 10. It's high for me. It's high. And I'm actually going to rewatch the Final Destinations because I want to make separate videos in regards to the premonition scenes and the kills. I don't think I can rank all the Final Destination kills, but maybe I can pick my favorite ones. I'm a sick, twisted person. But yeah, spoiler-free ending right now. 8 out of 10. Go see it. I think you're going to enjoy it if you like death, gore, horror. I'm a twisted person. You know what? I was smiling. I walked out of the theater smiling, and I was like, I'm sick. Anyways, I'm going to go into a little bit of spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen it yet, timestamp the video and then come back after you see it and hear me talk about some of the more details that might be considered spoilers. Okay, so get out of here. Go. Bye. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you stayed. So you either seen it already or you want to know like all of the thoughts. So let's get into it. I'm going to give you a little bit of the cons, a little bit of the pros, blah, blah, blah. I absolutely love the way that they do the premonition because obviously they show it. And if you've seen the trailer, you already know that the premonition, the deaths happen at this like Space Needle looking restaurant. It's called the Sky View and it happens on the 60s. And like a lot of people died. I mean, that restaurant is jam packed. It's opening night. So the drive there, the music in Final Destination, mwah, they always have that one song that just sticks throughout this. Oh, it's all about the details, and I love the little details here. And yeah, I really like the scene. I couldn't believe the way that they give JB's character an origin, and it comes back to that. Is beautifully very very well done, because up until this point, while he's a big part of the franchise, you never really, he's just the guy at the morgue. Not anymore. Now you're gonna know why he's actually a key part in Death's plan ultimately, because oh yeah, I mean the spoiler part. Ultimately, he's the last one on Death's plan, because in this movie, basically everybody that was saved from the sky view, that is gonna come after them. So when you start thinking about it, all of the other premonitions and everything else that happened is just dead trying to catch up to all the people that should have never existed. And the lady that had the iris, she had the premonition in 1965. She saved all of those people. She is the grandmother of this family. I love the way that they did that. I thought it was very genius. And I love the way that they present us the premonition is her granddaughter starts having the nightmare seeing it. And Iris has completely gone away from the family. She's actually protecting them, but they all think she's cuckoo because of all of this. So she never hears this story. So she doesn't understand why she keeps having this nightmare. All she knows is that the lady's name in her dream is Iris, and she knows that's her grandma's name. So I really enjoy the character Eric. He's the one that you think is gonna be the skeptical one. You know, we've seen him in all the Final Destination movies, but I really ended up liking him. This movie gave me a lot of laugh out loud moments, and I appreciated that. I really want to talk about Tony Todd's scene, because I found out scrolling through social media that his final words in the movie were not scripted. He really was saying goodbye to us, and I don't know, I couldn't help but to tear up and smile that he got that opportunity. I don't know if the people in the movie knew something. I mean, he looks very different, and obviously we lost him last year, so finding out that his final words were almost like a goodbye to his fan base is crazy, and I love that they finally connect his character. I don't know, it was a really, really nice real life moment integrated into the movie. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I didn't necessarily like. I didn't like that we have the grandma go through the entire history, and she has this book with all these details about all the other movies, you know, all of that, and they don't really like go into it a lot. Even the granddaughter starts like mapping out a plan on the wall, but we never really see, you know, the map. I don't think that they're very correct with Death's path, because somebody dies that I thought wasn't supposed to die, but that's beyond the point. The kills, I really enjoyed them. There's an MRI machine kill that is absolute insanity. There's a fake out. There's a fake out with a tattoo shop kill, and that terrified me, because you guys know I love my piercings, I love my tattoos, and I was like, well, great, now another thing ruined for me. Thank you, Final Destination. I'm trying to think of if I have like a specific favorite kill in this movie. I mean, there's a trash compactor kill, but yeah, the MRI machine was crazy, and it was like a 2-for-1 kind of deal, so it was great. The grandma was a little crazy, like, you know, when she's all like, "Girl, you're gonna have to like listen to me," like I feel like she had to figure out she didn't need to be so crazy, but also this woman, technically speaking, locked herself in a fucking cabin for 20 years. You know what she reminded me of? When the granddaughter is pulling to her house to try to talk to her, it really gave me Jamie Curtis in Halloween 2018 vibes when she like lives in her own fucking compound, protecting herself from Michael Myers. Really, really gave me those vibes when you're pulling into the house. It's funny too because the house ends up catching on fire, which is the same thing that happened to that house. But it really gave me those vibes. The brothers, I was so invested in them trying to like defeat Death's plan. It was kind of wholesome. I don't go to the movie theater anymore, which after going to that I was like I should probably start going more. And if you guys like the review, maybe I will go more, at least for horror movies. I used to really go and catch all of these movies like right when they came out, and then post pandemic I just don't go anymore. I only go when it's a movie that I'm invested into. And this one, okay, car. This one I really enjoy. I enjoy the characters, but it does feel, let me tell you what might bother you. It does feel like a little bit of the same, but with a little bit of a plot twist. I appreciated that because I don't want my Final Destination to be completely different either. I fell in love with the movies for a reason. So I enjoyed the fact that it felt like a little bit of the same, but with a little bit of a plot twist. I thought that the main character could have been developed a little bit more because I found myself caring about side characters more than her. And maybe like even when the little brother has a talk with her when he's like, well, you kind of left and like left us behind, it really, I don't want to like, you don't hate her, right? But it just makes you go like, well, is she a shitty person? Like what's going on there, right? The mom character I actually really like. I'm not gonna say I almost wish they would have flip-flopped them, but the mom, it's funny how the ladies in the family had the craziness happening to them, right? Yeah, I really like the mom character, and I like Charlie. Like, I find myself, if I gotta rank how I like the characters in this movie, the girl that's having the dreams and the premonitions and reconnects with the grandma and all that, she's the one that I mean, she was just there for me. She had a great performance, don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about you becoming invested in these characters. And I think that the only other thing that I think was missing was maybe some one extra cameo. I do think that JB's character set up the girl that came back to life on the third movie. I feel like that's the only movie that kind of was really referenced here. When I'm like, there's a lot of movies. We don't have to reference number 4, but there's a lot of movies that we could have referenced here. But maybe she's the one in the continue to make Final Destination movies that take over his role. Maybe we see her again, but I kind of expected a couple of more cameos and a couple of more play on how the, I don't know, I just wish, okay, I wish that would have had some kind of scene or something telling us like, well, this person, like, there was a couple of key kills in the premonition, right? And I just wish they would have told us like, well, this person that they really highlighted the kill went on to live, and they were the parent of X person, the Von Sal character, right? Like, I wish they would have just had more, play more with the other movies, where they play more with the bloodline thing. We're seeing a family, we're seeing generations, and it really just makes you wonder, like, yeah, there's a lot of people that probably should have not been here if we wouldn't screw with Death's plan, right? So I know this is gonna sound weird, but I really do think that Death has a plan, and when you're meant to go, you're meant to go. So these movies have always been, I don't want to say a think piece for me, but it really makes me wonder, how does it all work out? Because sometimes shit really just, the plan just gets all messed up. Anyways, we're not gonna get into that deep into it, but I'm nitpicking at this point because I'm a big fan of the franchise. I told you, top 3 for me, it's up there for me. Okay, I love Final Destination. I used to watch the first one like before I will fly. I need help. All right, guys. Anyways, let me wrap this up nicely because I don't want to make too long of a video, and I still want you to go see it. And if you have seen it, let me know in the comments, where are you at with it? Because I'm like right now just talking to you guys. Like, you know how I do it. I don't script. I just sit here and talk. So let me know if you liked it. Let me know how you're feeling about it. I don't rank it my favorite. I think my favorite is still number 1. And I will make a video ranking them because it's been a long time since I watched the rest. I mean, it's been 14 years since we had a Final Destination movie. I'm just glad this is a franchise that I'm not mad they brought back. I was afraid of how they will bring it back, because they wrapped it up nicely, but they didn't fuck that up, and I appreciated that. You know what my favorite character was outside of Eric? The grandma back in the 60s. I loved her. All right. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you see it? Did you check it out? Did you love it? Where are you at with it? What would you rank it? 8 out of 10 for me. Go see it in theaters. All right, guys. A little bit differently, but I really wanted to talk about it. All right. I'll see you later for the wrestling watch alongs and all that. Until next time. Adios. Mwah.